So now I'm going to talk about some topics that I selected because it's easier to talk about some particular topics than just try to talk from my mind. And the first topic I want to talk about is about this Pokemon series. I didn't watch it much. I know about the Pokemon because I started to watch it in 1997 when this Pokemon series only began, and then they were moved to air in America, and Americans translated the Pokemons, added some this famous song like Pokemon and so on, and then they changed the names of most of the Pokemons and the main characters, and after that the Russian TV channel ORT bought the Pokemon series from the Americans and translated it in Russian, but used the American names for the Pokemons and for the characters and the song itself. Uh, so yeah, I watched this Pokemon series on ORT, maybe about 2000 when I was maybe in the third or in the fourth grade, and it was the first season, about 200 episodes, and there were several movies when Ash and his Pikachu and other Pokemons fought in different tournaments. And I knew that there were different Pokemon series that followed this original series, but I never checked them because I was kind of too grown up for this Pokemon stuff. And when I learned to watch any series in English, maybe before the Big Bang Theory, it was at 2014, 2015. I tried to watch Pokemons in English, but they were so childish for me. I couldn't stand this the faces, the expressions, all this stuff they drew because they animated because it was for real kids about 10 years old, because Ash himself was 10 years old. And I failed after maybe four episodes of this original series, and I have successfully forgot about this. I have successfully forgotten about this series, but when I watched animes for during 5 years, I always uh, noticed then this Pokemon series had new seasons during all these years, and I logically thought that all these series were about different people, about different Pokemons with different plot, but they were all in the universe of Pokemons, and this Pikachu was always uh, in some position like a main character and other stuff. But maybe 2 years ago, I checked, maybe last year, I checked what's the status of Pokemon, and what great surprise I had when I discovered that for the last 25 years, all these Pokemon episodes that there were more than 1,000 episodes, because they were aired each week, one episode per week, and because there are 50 weeks per year, there were about 50 episodes per year, and for 25 years there were more than 1,000 episodes, and during all these episodes the main character always was this Ash guy, and he never grew up. He was always 10 years old Ash, who started with his Pikachu in 1997. He just changed the companions in his journey to become the world champion in Pokemon tournament. And in the first episodes there were Misty and Brock, and then they separated, and he met different companions during different seasons, and these seasons lasted maybe 2-3 years, and then he collected new Pokemons, but his Pikachu was always his main Pokemon, and I think he could fight using only 6 Pokemons for the tournament, and he collected maybe about 10 Pokemons at a time, so he changed Pokemons from the season to season, and sometimes he met again this Misty girl and this Brock guy, and they traveled together for some time, and at last year he participated in the World Champion Pokemon tournament with his Pikachu and 5 other Pokemons, and he fought against some grand Pokemon master who was the current world champion, and his favorite Pokemon was Charmander, which is the Dragon Fire Pokemon, and Charmander was one of the first Pokemons that were introduced in the first episode of a Pokemon series in 1997, when Ash, when he became 10 years old, he needed to go to the local Pokemon center and got his first Pokemon, and he wanted to get the Charmander in his first stage of evolution, or the water Pokemon, or the plant Pokemon. But he was late, and he got this lightning mouth Pokemon, whose name was Pikachu, and who became the main face of the series alongside with Ash. So after winning this tournament, Ash traveled back for the half of the year for about 25 episodes, and he met again Misty, and he met again Brock, and they traveled together, and then they separated at the places where they met when they traveled from the Ash's village 25 years ago. First, he separated with Brock, and he moved to his village. Then he separated with Misty, and she moved to her village. And then he came to his village, and he met his, mother, and he met his professor who gave him his Pikachu 25 years ago. And he, Ash, always stayed 10 years old, so his mother always was the same age, and the professor was of the same age, but he came back as the world champion Pokemon master, as he wanted to be, as he wanted to become in the first episode of this series. And the last episode of this series was when he decided to leave his village with Pikachu and came on some other adventures, and his ultimate goal was to befriend all the Pokemons in the world. And he said that because Pikachu was always with him, he was I don't know, he was always happy. They would be the friends forever, and they started their new adventure together. And this was the last episode, and after this the Pokemon continued, but it was the next story, the story of some girl and her Pokemon that looked like cat, and she met some guy with some strange Pokemon, and then they met an quite old guy with the Pikachu, but it was different Pikachu, and it was different guy, and they traveled throughout the world to discover. They are traveling now, because this series are now in the development. They have only 50 episodes, and I think they will make it for maybe 100 of episodes. So this girl has some mysteries about her past, and they travel together to discover these mysteries and found the truth about her future. I wish them luck. I think that's not very bad story. Maybe the girl will grow up during the series, because in Naruto the story is called coming of age, because Naruto grew from being maybe 10 years old into 15 years old, and the last chapter was when he was about 25 years old, and he was married and he had his own child. So we wish luck to the Pokemon series, but it was really cool that all these years Ash was 10 years old and he traveled with his faithful Pikachu, and they had lots of adventures. And all this series were voiced by Netflix. And wow, one more interesting thing about the Pokemon is because the Americans changed the initial names of these characters. Most of the Pokemons in Japanese are called different with different names. Only the Pikachu is the Japanese name that remained, but Charmander and other Pokemons are called differently. And more interestingly, Mystic Girl, Brock Guy, and the guy Ash himself are called differently in Japan. The main character Ash is called Satoshi, because the guy who created Pokemon in the first place was called Satoshi, and he just named the main character in honor of himself, by himself. And the game for some consoles was created first, and then the game was become quite successful, and it was changed into anime, and anime was so successful that it lasted for 25 years, and lots of different games for consoles were created, and even for smartphones like Pokemon Go, which is one game that was popular during 2016 maybe. It has this additional reality when people searched for Pokemons in different places, and when they kind of recorded the particular place through the camera on their iPhone using this Pokemon Go application, they could find the Pokemon in this place and get it to the collection in the application. That was an interesting move to bring attention of people to this game again. It was maybe 20 years after the original story was created. So again, we wish luck to the Pokemon series, and I hope that this Lily girl with her kitten will get the great success. Maybe not so great as it was with Ash guy. I wonder what will happen to Ash if he grew up during the rest of the series. But maybe we'll meet Ash later. Maybe we'll meet Ash in this series. Anyway, the story of solving the mystery and discovering some secret places have some potential in the overall Pokemon universe, and maybe it will become quite successful. Maybe it will, because Boruto, which is the continuation of Naruto, and Naruto was a really cool manga. It's not so cool anime because anime has lots of fillers, which has very low quality. But Boruto is about Naruto's son, whose name is Boruto, and it's so low in the quality of plot. It always have the marks like 6, maybe 7 out of 10. But it continues for maybe 5 years. Like there are more than 200 or 250 episodes in Boruto already, and this will continue as long as there are fans of original Naruto. So I think the new Lily girl with the new kitten Pokemon have all chances to become the new flagman, the new power of moving Pokemon franchise forward. So that's all what I wanted to say about this Pokemon franchise.